live, and everybody heard that. Here we go. Welcome to Roleplay Give. I haven't said that before, so hey, this channel. All right, we're playing massive. Yeah, Ed, I really just wanted to go. Yeah, yeah, no, I mean no. Uh, uh,
Oh yeah, but well, no.
but well, no. uh, we are playing uh, Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. We are in chapter. Oddly, this is chapter 4, although it's the third chapter played because chapter 2 is not playable. It's an interesting way they've organized the book, but there you go. Um, there you go. Okay, yeah, it's good. No, but no. Uh, so, uh, most recently, our intrepid investigators were uh, discovering that it was probably for the best that they a directly look into the Penhew Foundation's uh, involvement with the Carlisle expedition uh, slightly more aggressively, but also slightly more wary that they are nefariously involved. Uh, and then, at, because of that, divorced themselves from that organization a little bit, either by resigning or no longer going to the library every day at the Penhew Foundation. Uh, Clyde discovered through some old-fashioned legwork that the Penhew Foundation has connections to a manufacturing in Derby in the north of England uh, with a small company called Henson Manufacturing. He traveled to Derby and staked it out for a week and noted lots of deliveries similar to the ones that they saw leaving the Penhew Foundation that they tracked to a warehouse that they later burned down and murdered people in. But that was a couple of sessions ago. Uh, excuse me. Uh, they also did some research with the sort of the tabloid rag of the time, the Scoop, with Mickey Mahoney, and were putting together some connections between what Jackson Elias was doing and some of his the people that traveled with him from America, kind of circling around to a uh, African national who was sort of along the right as the maid to uh, Roger Carlyle. And got a name of Nchanka, I believe, Nchatka Bonet. And so uh, that name hadn't really shown up in many of the periodicals reportings of the Carlisle because of sort of it was not one of the principals. She was not one of the principals, but also racism, unfortunately. And so they finding out that that person was also involved and had disappeared was another discovery that they had made. They do believe now that they are being followed. Clyde then tried to sneak around the Penhew Foundation, witnessed a conversation, and he does not know this anymore, but at the time he knew he had a spell cast on him that removed 10 minutes of his memory, and now he can't recall what happened for 10 minutes of his life. He went and saw a psychic, and the psychic inadvertently contacted Nyarlathotep, uh, which then led to our second encounter where the investigators have seen one of the elder gods. Um, Fortunately for Clyde, this is not his first time hearing the voice of Nyarlathotep, so he only took 2 points of psychic damage. But he then fled the situation, and the psychic died. And they decided then they needed to travel north for Henson Manufacturing. Have I missed anything critical in the summary of where we're at today? Okay. So, uh, I will ask the investigators to introduce themselves, and then we will go for what do you want to do? How do you want to get to Derby? What sort of things do you wish to accomplish? I believe some weapons were produced, uh, and yeah, we can start however you want. You guys just tell me. You just don't need to be formal here. Okay, maybe we do. Um,
Well, I guess what are means of getting up to Derby? I guess would be a question we'd ask. Is it by train mainly?
yeah, train's the easiest way to do it. Car would be difficult to hire for that far. You could do it though, if you wanted to, but a train would be far more convenient.
I think our biggest issue is if we're being tailed a lot, it's not probably very wise. Taking,
Wouldn't be the first time we ran into trouble on a train.
Right.
yeah, but I'm also not a fan of letting them walk away, knowing exactly what we're doing.
Oh,
That
so
sounds
are you,
that sounds a little morbid.
I mean, are you thinking we just need to cover our tracks a little better as we go on the train, or are you thinking, as Harmon just said, we have to kill everyone who's, aware of our existence?
Uh,
The morbid part.
but let's put this into perspective. They wish us ill will. It's for what reason we do not know. All we know is they want us to
We
not know
know
something
it's
that they
because
know.
we stuck our noses in there. We walked into their place. Then they wanted like
Very true, but I guess it's the issue of what are they hiding that's so important.
I don't know. I guess the question I was having for you, though, is were you saying we should take the train but not be seen taking the train? Or were you saying we should, a good offense is the best defense? Which of the two
I'd
would look
say the
more?
less they know about, the better. I would say
Okay.
probably preferring to avoid conflict when best. There's no need to
I
go
would agree with
aggressive.
that. I'm not very great with, physical conflict, especially.
Hmm.
So do we take different trains, or what how do we how do we do this in a surreptitious way?
Maybe not all go at once. Maybe go to different stations, then hop a coach to Starby. Like say we partner up in twos. One goes to one stop to Derby, one to a different place. The people who are at a different place take their coach to Derby. Meet that way.
I suppose that's sensible.
Hmm.
What do you think, Purdy?
I mean, like, um, I'm a pretty big guy, and I find that sometimes it's kind of hard to, trick people. Um, is there, can we just use our friend to hire some of us a car to drive straight there and not take the train at all? I don't mind if it takes longer.
We probably could just yeah, hire a car. We may not
And
even
some of
need
us,
to contact Ramsey for that.
and some of us could go by train, some could go by car.
I think either way that if there's at least two groups of us going, then it might be a little harder for them to follow us all.
I think that makes sense.
And why don't like, how about then like two of us check out of this hotel? So it looks like we're leaving for a long time. The other two stay.
That could work.
I think that's a good idea. That
Yes.
also creates
Uh,
a bit of a smoke screen around our connections to each other.
um, but
Music incoming,
I
you
mean,
all. Sorry.
the two of us could even go up a few days early. Uh,
Oh, that's a
stay
good
in a
idea.
hotel or something up there, and you know, find where the good pubs are.
Well, I suspect that I have the means to rent a car, and I think, Purdy, your point that you may be better suited to drive simply because you're very noticeable makes sense. So maybe the two of us ought to go and get a car and get moving.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. To summarize, then, if I understand correctly, please correct me because I was actually fixing something that was wrong with the stream there for a second. Um, uh, Purdy and Harmon are going to hire a car with Purdy driving, and Clyde and Daisy are going to take the train. Is that correct?
And I think we might leave on different days, but
On
I
different
don't
days.
think we necessarily figured out what that order was.
Okay. So, you guys take a car. Let's have some fun. So first is credit check, because you're not driving it around London. You're going to drive it all into the country, and that happens. But typically, they're renting this out to industrialists and wealthy lords. So,
Yeah,
uh, guys,
I gotta get my carriage sheet.
whoever wants to do the credit check, and um, I will give you a bonus. Never mind. I was gonna give a bonus die for using the. Oh, hey, fun. Uh, sorry, no. Everybody thinks fine in the Cricket household. The dog did something. Um,
Oh,
I had to look and immediately see that Sam is sleeping on the chair.
no, that would be
My
Arlo.
dog didn't do it.
Uh, okay. The sorry, the situation is that you could have used. Oh, the situation. I was gonna ask you guys if you wanted to come up with a name that Carlton Ramsey would give your organization for a clandestine, like this is your employer is this, and that's who you contact to get funds and stuff. So just put that in the back burner and let me know what you come up with as a name for when you're traveling around the world. You say, "Oh, we're representatives of such and such," and that's the shell corporation that Carlton Ramsey has set up.
Purdy Boys Manufacturing.
I'm the CEO, and I work there.
Lead
The
singer driving the
uh,
Winnebago.
the Purdy Bottom Boys.
Oh, I'm not okay with that one.
No,
doesn't seem to fit. I wouldn't fit in there.
with special guest Stevie Ransom.
All right, so if that's what you guys want to do,
Oh, it's a work in progress. No, not at all.
Work in progress.
No, it's been spoken into existence. Can't change it now.
We're
Oh,
workshopping it.
man.
We're workshopping it. We're workshopping it. Okay. So, um, with that credit success, just maybe you drop the name of the organization and say who you're from, and just have the look about you of somebody who perhaps doesn't dress to the nines all the time, but clearly has money. You're just able to sell it. You're professional, and you are able to rent the car for a trip to Derby. I don't know, sell it. What is it that you told them that you were doing with this car to sell it?
Well, I'm a professor with the university, with Northwestern University, and I'm conducting some field research, and I have a stipend with which to take care of this sort of thing, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm intentionally not going to mention any like corporation or anything that we're connected to because I don't want it to come back to us in any way.
Okay. Uh, okay, yeah, and traveling up to, and I believe, as I recall, Derby is like up closer to Manchester.
Specifically, we're going to be stopping at some of the old Roman ruins along the way.
Oh. Oh, very nice up there this time of year, I hear. Lovely religion they have up there. Uh, it's a line from Eddie Izzard that I worked in there that shouldn't have fit at all. Great religion the Druids have out there, all by the Roman ruins. So, uh, okay, yeah, you guys acquire the car. I would like both of you to. You are you leaving just that moment? You guys have packed your bags and you're off.
Yeah, we checked out of the hotel.
Okay. Uh, Bags are in the back. You travel up, and I like a check from both of you and two checks from Purdy. First, nope, just one for now. A spot hidden from both of you. Sorry.
Man, you're on a roll.
Well, I'm going to succeed on everything that I either already have a check next to or I
Oh,
can't put a check next to.
Uh, okay. So you get out of town. You're on these rural roads, and in England, particularly at this time, roads for cars were being constructed. But even when I was there, and in the rural parts, in the early aughts there, or the mid aughts, uh, there are roads that are only one car length, so you have to pull off to the side and let somebody go through occasionally, and so you're on these sort of roads so it's somewhat slow going, and you're heading through these sort of into the Midlands, going north towards Derby, and you get to one of those sort of stone bridge areas, and as you're creeping the car across it, you look behind and realize there's a car behind you. Um, you just mark it, and as you go over the bridge, it stays with you. You go to a village, it stays with you. And after even 15 minutes on this rural road, I mean, there is no M5 or anything back then. Everything's a rural road, but I mean, either this car is heading the same direction you are, or you're being tailed.
Yeah, that matches our experience. Maybe we ought to stop for the night in one of these villages and get some local flavor and atmosphere.
No problem there. I'll turn it off. Go find a hopping place.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up a map of England.
I was just doing that. That's why I was not paying attention.
Oh.
So it's 113 miles, which I imagine in the day took like 3 days.
Yeah, going probably 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It would take 3 hours.
Yeah, if you're going 40 miles an hour to go 100, it would take 3 hours, wouldn't it?
We're leisurely.
But you're also probably stopping for traffic every time you get to a village, and you probably
It's
can't go.
probably two,
You probably can't go 40 miles an hour the entire time because the roads are so bad. You break an axle.
probably
Can't.
2 gallons
Well,
per
and
mile.
Yeah,
we'll stop at
yeah, it probably is
Roman
2 gallons.
ruins along the way.
All right, so
I'm sure Purdy really enjoys stopping at those Roman ruins.
I want to get to All right, I'm gonna say you're traveling along what became the M1, and because I like the name of it, you see sort of a side road off to go to Long Buckby. And I'm going to click on Long Buckby to see how
Well, I've heard it's
charming.
lovely this time of year.
Oh, it's on it. Is a large village and its civil parish in West North Hampshire, England. It has a population of 4,303 in 2020. So I suspect it is rather quaint. Oh, it has a Days Inn. You guys could stay there. Um,
It's ye old days in.
Ye old Days Inn by Wyndham. Uh,
It has a shoppy for assorted sundries.
It is interesting though. It does have a rail line running through it, so um, you are able to find an inn. It's an old school inn, and get a room. Uh, what do you want to do once get out of you're in Long Buckby? I'm going to say at this point it's just the sort of a winding agricultural village, supported by farm, but it is a rail stop, and so the surrounding communities, bring their goods here to transport off. So this is sort of a hub for the area, but not, probably 1,000 people total in the village. I could look it up. I'm not going to.
Purdy's gonna find a pub and drink, unless
Pub in the
No,
Elf.
I
there's
I
a
think
better
that's
idea
fine.
proposed.
We're just we wanted to. Before we get out of the car, I'll say we want it to look like we're just sort of sightseeing. This is where we're going for now.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll lose interest.
So the other car does pull over, and nobody gets out. As you guys get out of the car and go about your business, how do you want to, like, you can like park near this inn with a tavern in it that you found. It's sort of what a happy coincidence. You found a tavern and a place to stay. Um, Corey, I know you love naming these. If you've got a name for the tavern, or
Well, oh, can't put me on the spot like this.
oh, sorry, no, when you got it, when you come up with it, we'll
okay.
use it.
Give me a second.
Yeah, and so as you go in and obtain rooms for that, you look out and there's just a man still sitting in there. He looks like he's looking at a map. He's reading a map in his car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Purdy would do anything. Like, I mean, he might keep his eye and see if he like disappears, but
Yep, got it.
I'm not really sure. Like,
Not gonna
I
go.
mean, he probably like as he gets drunker, he probably like jokes with Harmon that he can go beat the guy up. But
Okay. I'm gonna move over to the other two. So you guys left in like what, mid-morning? You packed your bags, acquired the car, and left. And sort of are calling it a day, like maybe even mid-afternoon on the trip up. You guys had given yourself 2 days to get up there. Is kind of what I heard. I don't know if you're gonna change that, but
Yeah, we're actually having a vacation day.
yeah.
I don't have a job
Harmon,
anymore, so I got all the time in the world.
We're gonna find somebody to make us a shepherd's pie.
Harmon's wearing socks and sandals and just.
No, I'm dressed up in my archaeology outfit. Like Harmon looks more like
open
Indiana
throat,
Jones
wait,
now.
what? Open throat,
Yeah.
wait, button down.
And he looks so much more comfortable in it.
Okay.
And Purdy would remember that the same thing happened in Peru when he got out of town and like relaxed. Harmon's a pretty different person.
So you got the field khakis on.
Yeah.
Some jack boots, maybe.
Yep.
Awesome.
Like hiking boots.
Yeah. All right. And so there's a sense of relief as you get away from all of the because the green pea supers and the fact that you had even felt something in the cloud in that fog once while you were in there is a relief. The blue skies. It's not rain today, and it is a green and pleasant land. Clyde and Daisy, what time are you leaving, and what are you doing? Leaving from what train station? It doesn't matter. I will make one up. It'll be like St. Pancras, just because I enjoy that.
I thought we were supposed to wait and not leave
you were waiting
right
a day,
away.
right? Yeah, you were waiting a day. That's right. So, what do you guys wish to do with your day in London, then? London, baby.
Oh, didn't you want to check on a friend?
I did. Apparently he's not dead. That's the one good thing I learned from your lovely psychic. That's that wonderful.
Meet her. Yeah, she's great, isn't she?
She was.
Oh, is this how this is coming out?
No. But he feels guilty about it, so he'll say she was.
Which, she was. Yesterday when he was there
Yep.
in the past.
Yep.
I see.
Sure was.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oof.
Oh, it's going in the book.
The tavern's name's the Pussy Nancy's.
The Pussy Dancies. Okay.
Pussy Nancy's.
Nancy's.
Which is an actual bar name.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the weirdest names over there.
Can you spell that and put that in the stream?
I put it in the chat, but I can put it in the stream.
Your choice. It doesn't matter. I'll look in here. Okay. Either way, it'll show up on the stream, so it doesn't matter.
So, if your friend is alive, you don't feel the need to go back to the War Office?
Well, I need to figure out where he probably is, and that'd be the place to check. Figure out where he is, unless they have a phone book, which doesn't exist in probably the 20s. A registry of addresses.
They might.
They have the operator.
Yeah, you would call the operator, and the operator actually probably looked it up. That's true.
Well, I don't want to bother him with, people following us at our every turn. Maybe
Oh,
after this is done, I'll
I
figure
see.
out where he's at, but at least like to know where he is.
I think we should go to a bunch of very random places just to throw things off if we are
That
being followed.
sounds like a great idea.
Yes. Let's just throw darts at a board and go to some really bizarre random places, and it'll confuse the heck out of our followers.
I have a map right here,
Oh, you do? Wow, you come prepared.
and I'm just gonna just post it up on a wall somewhere, put something behind it so it doesn't scratch up. He'll pull out his knife. All right, where do we want to go?
Oh man, we have our two sanest players hanging out.
Throw a knife and let's see where we go.
The fates will determine.
The fates will determine where we go. Do you want to go first? Do you want to go first?
Absolutely. I've never thrown a knife before. Please.
All right. It gets weird at first. These knives aren't really meant for throwing, but if you put your weight a little forward with it, it should counteract the weight on the back end to be able to get a proper spin.
All right, let's see. I'll give it a go. I'm going to throw the knife at the board, at the map.
Oh, you're going to hit Clyde.
Stand back.
I hide behind the bed.
You have so much faith in me. I have no idea.
Knowing my luck with stuff.
Bounce, bounce, bounce.
I
Who would have thought I could ricochet off of 4 surfaces like that?
Is it a throw skill? Is it a knife skill? What is this?
Say it. I would say throwing something's a throw.
Yeah. Give her a throw.
Hey, I have a check mark in that. You could have one too.
Yeah. You did great.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, that was fun.
So let's
Check mark.
You get
I did.
You get a check
I
mark,
marked it.
and Robin, type into the chat box /R space 1D45.
There's 45 locations. Uh-oh.
Oh, / what was that?
/R space
Oh, space.
1D45.
All right. There we go. 36.
All right. You hit Green Park,
Hmm.
which is right. Oh, you guys aren't on this page with me. Hold on. I was gonna say right here, like I do on this stream all the time, when nobody can see what I'm doing. Are you all on the map of London with me?
Yeah.
All right. You are. Which is, you almost hit your hotel. Oh, we lost.
Oh
Gloria.
gosh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He said he kicked the plug out of his computer.
Oh, that's what he did? Okay. And we are not to worry. Okay. Be back soon. Yeah, I guess so. All right. So, yeah, your hotel is, I think, like over here. Like, oh, wait, no, I think where you're at, right? Yeah.
Number
Oh,
9.
it's the
That's
Penhue.
Penhue Foundation.
That's the Penhue Foundation.
What's the name of our hotel again we're at?
Oh gosh, where did I write that one down?
I have it in my notes if we need to dig them out. But
Oh,
I think,
it's on this list because it's one of the fancy ones.
yeah, it is on this list, and I can't remember.
It's. What was it? I'm looking at them.
Yeah, you're probably gonna find it faster just because I have to look through so many pages.
I could have sworn it was on this list.
I thought it was too, but
I'm not seeing it.
I know we were on like the northern end of the city and me and Purdy were down south here.
Yeah, I
had a room
feel
there a
like
long
you weren't
time ago.
too far from like 26-ish, like where the National Gallery is, and I cannot remember. And my notebook is in the other room, so um, and I'm just not going to get up for it. So, uh, but we'll say it's over here. Let's just move the game on.
Okay.
So you guys are going to Green Park. I don't know much about it, but you
Oh, we were at the Grosvenor. Does that
the
sound?
Grosvenor.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a long time ago when we checked in there.
But some things have happened while you were there. Like you were tailed there. You had the woman on the
Hmm.
bench. That pretty creeped out. Um, Grosvenor Hotel in London is map backing up. Oh, wow. It's right near Regent's Park. So, um, it's really like right here. Like I think,
Okay.
I Regent Park, Regent Park, Regent Park, Regent Park, Regent Park. I guess it doesn't matter other than for if we it could matter if things go south for you guys or anything like that.
Oh,
So
it won't. We're just going to the park.
right,
It's a beautiful day to go to Green Park.
are you
Sounds
guys walking?
lovely. Well, you haven't thrown your knife yet. We need to know where we're going after the park.
No. Our roll D45.
Well, you have to hit the map first.
I gotta hit the board first.
That's true, right? Yeah, that's right.
And I'm not going to hide behind the bed because I completely trust that he will.
Daisy, would you believe me if I told you you're probably better at this than I will ever be? Some would say I have a lower score in this skill.
Really? I find
I
that
don't,
very
I
dumb.
don't, I don't typically throw stuff. I typically get up and personal. Floop.
Interesting.
Oh, missed the board.
Shit.
Honk.
In this very very nice hotel, there's now a knife stuck in the oak paneling wall.
It's fine. They don't have our names. All right. I'm gonna look around and make sure there's any paintings nearby. We'll just move the painting over.
All right.
Maybe 1, 2. Floop. Throw again. Shit.
Hmm.
I think you could blind man's bluff it. You could just stab at it after being
I could
spun
put a
3 times.
blindfold on you and pin the tail on the donkey.
Yeah,
Oh,
spin around,
yes.
and get dizzy, and then stab
Oh.
at something. That's
This
a
is what
great
we do
idea.
when you guys leave us alone, okay?
I'm ready.
All right, give her.
All right.
Just do a knife attack.
Just right here.
Yep.
Yep. I guess the benefit of this one is too dizzy. It's been a weird. I mean, you're still probably
Why?
having nightmares from what you saw the day before.
Why did you? I don't like being spun. That's like.
How about you just pick a number between 1 and 45, and
Uh,
I'll just find the spot on the map.
let's. Fine. Let's go with number. It's you said out of 45.
Yep.
Let's go with number 35. I don't want to go to the bus station.
Well, Waterloo
Train-
Station is
train
actually a train station. Yeah.
Not
It's got some beautiful architecture. It's a very busy spot. It's uh, you know, it's still a modern marvel at this time. Um,
Who knew after all that, I'm still thinking about business instead of pleasure. This is not great.
We can check it out and, you know, take a look. We could leave little notes places to make it look like we're making a drop for somebody, and yes, make a
I
still little
like this idea a lot. What do you have in mind? So I
bring
guess
the
we don't have.
place and meet us at Charing Cross Station at 3 a.m. You know, things like that. And maybe somebody will. But we won't be there, so we won't know.
Maybe we can slide like a note underneath the bridge and say, "Hints lead to Glasgow." What does this mean?
Oh, that is wonderful. Scotland. Yes, send them there.
That's where Glasgow is?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're from here.
I think so.
Clyde doesn't know. All he knows is Glasgow is a city.
It's in
Pretty sure
Scotland.
Glasgow is in Scotland.
Yeah, Glaswegians. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I've never been there. It's
I
thought
would
it'd
never
been my.
guess.
Okay.
Alright.
What I would like
So
you
we'll do
guys to do is roll spot hidden checks once you get to Green
Okay.
Park.
We'll go there first. Have a nice lunch.
Making up for all that knife work.
All right.
Okay. Once you get to Green Park, it doesn't take you guys like you were expecting to be tailed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Both a little paranoid to begin with, but also sort of par for the course now after New York and knowing that you've sort of been made, or at least signs point to the fact that you've been made. And as you get to like one of the fountains in the park, you just notice that there is uh, a young man who just keeps popping into view every so often, and he not never looking at you. Always seems to be looking just over to the left of you. Um, but you catch it, and perhaps now you want to make a drop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're at the fountain, so
Let's look around like we're being. Okay, make sure no one is seeing us, but obviously we're being
That makes
seen.
it a little too obvious. Typically, you would just write it down and just set it to the side where you know someone's going to grab it and then walk away.
Okay.
Just a little
All
subtle.
right. Be
Not to
subtle.
go too.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Do you want to be subtle or should I be subtle?
You can be. I'm not very subtle.
This
I'll go
kind
get
of
us
stuff
some
is.
lunch.
He'll give you a quid. There you go.
Oh, thank you. All right.
and you're
And as that happens, the other hand just slides underneath the unmarked bench that's there.
okay. And you just left a little note tucked into the seat.
Sure did.
Okay, then what do you guys do?
Well, I think we should go eat some lunch, right?
Okay,
Sounds
guys,
wonderful.
go eat some lunch. Are you gonna see what the person does as you leave to the?
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, I
keeping an eye
certainly
on.
will.
All
Yeah.
right. You guys also probably don't want to be seen watching him, so make stealth checks. Just for like the performance of nonchalantly walking
Okay.
and not looking, you know.
Stealth. Ooh. No, not good for me.
All right. That's okay
Told you
though.
I'm not subtle.
It's okay. The hard success balances it out, and you see that this person sort of whistles, walks, and then takes a seat at the bench, and over time just sort of, bends down to get a shoe, uh, bumps the bench until your note falls out from the cracks in the bench, and picks it up, puts it in his pocket, and whistles away. Um, one of you can roll a luck check.
Oh, Daisy, I don't know about you, but I think this seems like a fantastic thing for you.
Oh, I'll give it a go.
Some would say it's a 50-50 for me.
Not. Oh, it was a better chance for me, but I rolled not so great.
Okay. The luck check was to see if they follow that lead and head to
Mm.
Glasgow or not. So, okay. So back to where are we at? What city did we?
The Pussy Nancy's.
That's the inn.
Oh,
It was something with an L.
oh, Black Buckbee.
Buckby.
Long Buckby.
Long Buckby. Yeah.
Mm.
So heading back to Long Buckby. Anything you guys want to do? Or are you just gonna have a pleasant day? Maybe looking at the sights. The
No, I'm going to follow Purdy's lead, and we're going to become best friends with everybody.
Oh, okay. So, as you know, it's a little early when you guys start, but by quitting time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it's the main tavern. This is the local pub. starts filling up with regulars. Dart games begin getting organized. Drafts are pulled. People are bringing food with them. Uh, Being part of the inn, you can probably get some food there and bring it back into the tavern if you so chose. Uh, it's warm, convivial atmosphere here. I'm thinking, uh, you know, fires lit in the hearth. Uh, it just lots of people looking to have a fun day after a long day of work. Uh, People are really interested in these Americans coming here, as is fascinating. Lots of a couple of war veterans, come in and talk about the war to you guys as if you were in it, which you weren't. Um, but that's the only reason I could think of Americans actually being there again. And uh, drinks are had. Anything you guys want to do as far as that, or just have a pleasant evening, or are you trying to get information? Are you trying to make a friend? Uh, I lost you, Ed. I could see you.
I'm muting because my microphone's really sensitive, I guess.
Mm,
But so my thought is just to really really waste the time and make it pretty. It seemed like we're not heading anywhere else.
okay. All right, getting to know people, adding people to your Christmas card list. Um, okay. All right. The night passes peaceably for you. You have a lovely evening. It's probably the nicest evening
Does
you guys have had since you've come to England. Um,
does the guy come in
no.
ever?
Nope.
And his car is still like there.
Sorry.
There's
You
probably an outhouse. Every once in a while, we'll have to go out, and when we do, we'll check on the
you
car.
okay? So if you guys go out and check on the car, like guy's sitting in there, he's reading his map. At one point, you see him napping in there. Uh, and then
Is he trying? Is he trying to be like hidden? Is he
nope,
trying to?
nope,
Go?
no. You sense no overt subterfuge. Um, but on one of your
Well,
bathroom breaks,
I'm
oh,
gonna
okay,
no. So I'm gonna go over to his car when I think he's asleep,
yeah.
and I'm gonna go around the backside of it, opposite the door, and I'm gonna start to pretend like I'm peeing and see if he reacts on the car.
Seems to be sleeping. Um,
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Clyde's knife and I'm gonna knife the tires.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
we're all using your knives, Clyde. This is awesome.
Well,
All right. All
And
four of them.
meanwhile, I'm talking to some guy in the
no,
bar, just chatting away.
just the one in the back that I
Okay.
just peed on.
All right. So you pee on this guy's tire and then you knife it. Um. All right. So the you know twice, and then then you uh, uh he's still sleeping when you walk away from the as the car slowly sort of descends on one the axles sort of bend towards that one that's deflated. Uh, what do you want to do? Are you gonna go back to your drink, or are you gonna keep an eye on it from the window, or
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah. That's just I just had to pee. Had a
Uh,
good idea what was happening. That's all.
so as you keep an eye on it from the window, I do tell Harmon what you did.
No.
Okay. Okay, so Harmon's there like, yes, and that's where we found the so and so of so and so, whatever thing of in the Near East, and people are like, that's fascinating, Professor, uh, because everybody's just having a great time. And the as you're watching out the window, glancing out the window, eventually you hear the car door shut. Guy like just looking down at the window, he just puts his hands on his head and he looks. And he just sighs. He's a sigh and goes to the boot of the car and gets out a jack and gets under the car because the tires kept under the car and he gets a little spare tire out. and starts changing the tire. And once he gets the tire changed, anything you want to do, I'll stop me at any point. So you're just watching him. He changes the tire. He's sitting there fighting with the lug nuts, whatever, etc. Goes back.
Wait, I'm sorry. How was, in your estimation, did this all happen long enough that Purdy would have to pee again?
No, no, no. Like what happens is like eventually the car just you know tilts enough that he's like, well, he wakes up and you see him kind of looking around and everything. He looks like he's surprised he fell
Is it
asleep.
taking him a while to do?
Yeah, it's gonna take him like 20 minutes to.
Oh, Purdy's going to health.
Okay. All right. So you go, and he's got the car jacked up by the he's got the jack out anyway, and he's trying to get the back jack as you walk out, and he's got the donut out, and he's getting ready to put the donut on the car.
Hey, you need a hand there. I fixed like
Oh, that would be.
probably 500,000 of these.
Oh, most appreciate. It's not even my car. I honestly don't know how the tire just seems to have split open. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it looked like one of those sheep over there peed on it too. Oh,
He just
it's
glances
your
over at the
unlucky
sheep.
day.
He's like, "What?" And then he looks at his hands because he's just taking the tire
No,
off.
we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it fixed, no problem.
Most
Yeah,
appreciated,
I
sir. And he
mean,
puts out his pea hand to shake her hand. Oh no, I'm sorry.
yeah,
He
I'll
pulls out
fix
a
it.
handkerchief and wipes his
No,
hand.
no problem.
Uh,
Ain't nothing I ain't touched before. Hey, if
really?
I can take care of this, like it'll take me like 10 minutes. You go and get a drink. It's they're doing some singing and some they're talking about crazy stuff in there.
Give me a fast talk if you're really trying to convince him to do something that quickly.
I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't
You
need to
don't.
get rid of them, but
Okay.
I'm just trying to like make him have to say no. I don't want to. Is really
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
trying to do.
Yeah. He's not going to want to do that. He's oh no. I
Yeah.
can't let you take care of my car.
No, it's
I
no
have to
problem at
I
all.
have to help you. I mean, and he flips over the hubcap. I can hold the nuts. Um,
All right,
I'm leaving that
you
open
can
for
hold my
whatever you
nuts
want to do.
anytime.
Yeah. Wide open. Go ahead and go with it. All right. So, uh, you get the tire changed, and I'm so much obliged. Uh, my name is Whitby. Silas Whitby.
Would be like with a D or T.
With a T. With a T.
With T.
Whitby. Silas
It's
Whitby.
nice to meet you. I'm Gid. What brings you to this hopping metropolis of
Oh yeah, yes, and
wherever we are?
patting his, and he pulls out this map, and he's like, I find that I am headed to Derby, and usually I would take the train, but my employer allowed me to take the car. Um,
That's,
I,
are you coming
I'm
up from the big city or?
from London. Yes. I'm from London. I don't get out into the country very often.
Well,
I just learned how to drive an automobile. I think it must have only been a fortnight ago.
it seems like you're doing great so far. I mean, I wouldn't blame the tire thing on you. That was just probably something in the road or something.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
took a few
strange.
minutes before you noticed it.
Strange how it split like that. It just
Um,
seems like it'd be more likely I'd run over something that would puncture it, but it just split open. Um, I,
yeah, you never can say these places. I
well,
mean, could have just been a junk tire.
yeah, well, I guess so. I guess so. Um, some of them are rather old, I gather. Um, and he said, "Well, I thank you very much. I actually hadn't intended to nap quite so long. I really must be going. Uh,
Well, do you know which way you're going? You
if
keep looking at that map,
yeah,
like,
no, stay on this road straight.
right.
Uh,
Well, you take care of yourself. I mean, if you don't, yeah, you take care of yourself. We'll be driving up that way a bit ourselves. So if I see
oh,
you in the side road, we'll stop.
oh, appreciate
Say
that
hi.
very much. Thank you. and gets in the car and motors off. I will flip us back. Anything else Harmon would want to be doing?
Oh, I'm telling stories.
Okay.
I'm so rarely the center of attention to people that actually want to hear the stories.
Well, these are far off things and far off places, and they tell me
Yeah,
about the wind, and the sands, and the open sky, and how it doesn't rain for days. Um, so that's sort of fascinating things. This is entertainment before television. Even
yeah.
radios are probably somewhat rare. There's probably a couple radios in the village. Uh,
And
so,
I've probably been letting Purdy order me too many drinks.
And Purdy's probably drinking most of them.
But it doesn't
He
take
sees
much
one
for
just sitting
Harmon to
there.
have
He's
too
going
many.
for it.
all right, heading back to London. What you guys are? You've left the man who sat there. You watched him take the bait, and he goes in a different direction. You're not sure you shook all of any tails you may have acquired, but you're fairly certain that one's not following you now.
One stop done. Have some nice lunch. Maybe we should make our way to the one you eventually picked.
Eventually picked.
Eventually picked is definitely the answer that I would use there as well.
All right. Waterloo Station is an entirely different matter. This is a very busy train station. I believe, like the underground that was in place at this point had station stops. You know, this was a station for the underground, and also train traffic outside of London, I believe. Um, so you can take a train almost anywhere in the city right now if you wanted to, or you could leave London from here. But you didn't check out of your hotel, so
No,
uh,
no. I'm going to take some time to look at like train timetables and act like I'm deciphering something. Making notes in my little book.
okay,
Probably actually writing some things. As I've been writing my distractors in my book.
okay, all
And
right.
I'm gonna say, Henry, maybe maybe you can make the second drop. Where would be a good place for that? You're so good with the subtlety.
I don't know. This rubbish bin seems like a good place to do it.
Ooh, keep Britain tidy. Go for it.
Uh, all right. So it gets
I
deposited.
will pretend I'll pretend I have my garbage from my lunch. I assume it's probably some sort of sandwich or something. I'll throw that away, and then in between like little decorative pieces, I assume it's on the rubbish bin. I don't know what a 1920s garbage bin would be like.
Yeah.
Just stick on the inside of that and walk away.
Okay. You guys can both make another spot hidden check. Uh,
I rather like the thought of us just doing this with nobody watching because that would be even more
Hey,
amusing.
right.
don't worry. We're only like the most insane people in the group.
That's right. This
All right.
makes total sense.
You guys are hyper vigilant, a hard success and an extreme success, and you are doing this. You are certain somebody is watching you. You just didn't see anybody you know who's watching you, but you know
We are
know.
certain.
that
We
they,
know.
you know that something unseen saw you plant that false evidence there, but you don't have any proof.
Maya's not twitching. Your eyes is twitching.
Both
But I
need.
can feel it. I can feel the energy, can't you? The energy
Feeling
of
like I'm
our.
getting a little claustrophobic here. This is not a comfortable place to be in.
Oh, there's a lot of people. I bet there's more than one watching us, even. All right.
No.
You guys can choose to go anywhere you want on the map. You can call it a day, or you can just leave it to chance. There's maps everywhere, so if you guys want to just do the close your eyes and point, and you can pick another place to go to on the map. But otherwise, we don't need to drag. You can say you did this throughout the day because I'm gonna
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna wrap
that's
their
fair.
day up too. Uh,
Uh,
Is as fun as it
Daisy,
is?
yeah.
what I'm thinking is, in case we do get followed on to the train station, is that we take multiple trains across the city and to eventually get the one that's going to Derby.
Hmm
So
I took a
maybe
lot of notes on the train timetable, so I think that That would be a great idea.
That sounds excellent.
And it occurs to you that you could even cross train as well. So like you take multiple trains to get to, let's say it's leaving from St. Pancras, and then you take the train to Birmingham, then you take it down to one of the smaller ones, then back up, so it's not a straight shot to Derby, and just to even more so throw people off your, or give yourself the opportunity to not be on a train for a long period of time too. It'll take you longer, but
Hmm.
you can split it up. Still take a full day's travel though that way.
We have a day.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So I will ask you two to make a stealth check because you're trying not to be. You don't want to start tailed. The longer you can go, the more likely it is they don't find you in the first place.
You
Hoping.
love that
I was
55 for
hoping.
your stealth.
I know. Doesn't work though when your score is a 20.
Oh, you got a success. I'm sorry, I missed Clyde's. That's why I was just pausing there. Okay. All right. You feel reasonably confident that you were able to get to a train station without anyone you noticed tailing you, and you feel like you were nondescript, collars up, hats down, wearing, you know, clothes you haven't worn yet, maybe, in the city. Um, and so you guys begin your trip up north. Um, I'm gonna head back up to our gentleman up in Long. I keep forgetting the name of the city, but the village. Uh,
Long
but
Buckbeak.
Long Buckby. And you guys are gonna travel where today? Are heading straight to Derby?
Oh, hither and yon.
Okay.
I think not straight to Derby. What do you think, Gid?
I mean, I'm I'm having fun just driving, so I'm not in a rush or anything.
Let's do more of that then.
All right.
Hey, what do you know about the Loch Ness monster?
Nothing at all.
I mean, the way everyone says that thing, someone took a picture of it or something. My aunt, she has a picture of it in her scrapbook. But like the way I see things, like why would you just stick in one big lake? He could be in any of these lakes around here, or
Are you
she.
suggesting?
I don't even know.
Are you suggesting that we go on a search for the Loch Ness monster today?
I'm just saying that if we stop by a lake, we might want to, just look.
You know what? I'm in.
All right.
In fact, today we are fucking around.
100%. This is throw off the tail day.
Okay.
Except Purdy is probably like 60% like someone finally did what I wanted to do.
And totally fine with that.
You guys, you two are the reason why there's a picture of the Loch Ness monster.
We're going to make that luck roll here in a minute.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. The picture was taken in 1934. You guys are the first.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're the reason why that photographer went there, and why they saw that picture of probably a piece of wood.
Well,
Oh no, the Loch Ness monster. They knew that for years.
Yeah, but then
I
nobody
mean,
took photographic
why-
evidence or
like-
evidence. But Loch Ness
Well,
is
we're
in
nowhere
like
near
this.
Loch Ness.
I was gonna say that's in the Scottish Highlands. You are like
Yeah.
days away from.
We're just gonna have to check other lakes.
These are Buckby Lake monsters.
We're gonna check every
Bucky.
lake, pond, lagoon, creek along the way.
Pond monster sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If he's been around for like 400, 500 years, like he gets around. She.
Well, and it probably has offspring
Yeah.
that would live in one of the smaller ponds,
Yeah.
right? So let's look there.
I mean, she could take a summer vacation down to the Lakeland district.
Well, and as I said, I know nothing about it, so maybe they can cross land. Maybe they have a train ticket.
They're just really good at stealth.
Yeah. Okay,
I
sure.
mean, listen, we've met people who are rather strange. Would it be that much different for an ancient prehistoric lake monster? Who knows?
Whichever one of you would like can make a luck roll.
Both of us.
I don't care if you both want to do
I'll
it. I'll
make
do a
it.
blend. All right.
Eh?
So,
Hey, nice job, guys.
all right.
Like
Perfect.
both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You did better.
So, as you're traveling north along what is to become the M1, uh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my little village. London. I had you get past Milton Keys, and man, where is it? I didn't get you to Northampton. I didn't think. Oh, maybe I did. Long Buckby, where are you? There you are. Okay, as you get back onto the main road, and you get a little further north and get to you start seeing like signs for uh, the River Avon flowing into uh, what what essentially becomes sort of a widened out. I don't even know if this is like I'm gonna play it like I want. Where the river just widens out into sort of a flowing lake, uh, and it's along a road called Rugby towards a village named South Kilworth. It's gonna take you maybe 15 minutes to travel down that way, but I mean best lead you've had all day on a lake where perhaps a monster could be living.
Well, no stone left unturned, right? Let's let's have a look.
All right. So the luck check wasn't that you'd find that, but as you uh, as you turn off onto Rugby Road off of the main road here, the north-south road, uh, heading through, just going towards Swinford, you see a familiar car. You guys cannot see my my Google map that I'm using here,
Nope.
but Swinford heads towards this town of South Kilworth. Um, but you get to Swinford first, and you have to drive through that to get to this really, like, just a massive widening of the River Avon. Uh, and as you pass Swinford, you see a familiar car on the side of the road. The radiator appears to have blown, and the steam is pouring out of the hood. And there's a man looking through a manual. You recognize this man. You met him yesterday.
Hey, that's my buddy. I talked to him at the bar last night.
Isn't isn't
His
isn't that the car
name's
that
like
was
Whidbey.
following us?
Yeah, but he's nice. He also doesn't really know much about cars, so I'll just tell you this: if he causes trouble, just slash another one of his tires because he only has one spare.
Um,
This will be easy.
slash another,
Oh, well, yeah.
which suggests that
Jeep
there
was
was
angry
tire
inside,
slash
apparently.
before.
Did the old
Okay.
slash and pee. Some
Is that
sheep
an
did the old
expression?
slash and pee.
Is that an
Yeah,
expression?
that's one of the British guys last night. He taught me about it.
Wow. Boy, you just don't hear these things in academia.
He and
I
Slash.
I definitely pull
there.
over. Do cars have horns at this time? Because that'd be
Yeah,
like beep 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 beep.
yep. It's not on the steering wheel. You got a little
It's
auga,
actually a rubber ball you got to squeeze.
a little
Okay.
auga horn.
Yep.
Auga.
Hey, Whippy,
Oh, oh, thank God! And
what
he
happened to your car?
looks exhausted because he left, early last night, the night before, and this is the next morning, and he's only gone up like 15, 20 miles, and uh, just I've been stuck here on the road. I don't know what to do with this car. It appears to have it's leaking all of its steam or whatever.
Car juice.
Yeah, it's like when you get a bad cut and you start bleeding, that steam is kind of important.
That's the car's
Um,
lifeblood.
um, so where are you going again? You're going to Derby?
Yes, but I had pulled off because I wanted to take a little bit of a nap in the middle of the night, and don't I must have I ran over something that threw something sharp into the undercarriage of the vehicle, and it must have hit some sort of, and he has a little hose line that he holds up. I managed to locate the trouble, um, and it's like a water line going into the radiator.
Um,
I don't actually know
so
if that's
that
how
that
things work with cars, but
that
especially
is
old cars
that
with a
is
radiator.
that is some terrible luck there. Well, let me see if I can help you out here. And I will. I mean, I'll honestly try to
Okay. Uh,
um,
I think the skill we'd be looking for on this one would be mechanic, right?
mechanical repair.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is there
which
is
I'm
there a
terrible at.
manual or something I can follow along to try to help?
There, he has the manual in his aid, so he hands you the manual.
Boy, there's extra U's everywhere.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Right here, color, behave. Uh, um, okay. Nope, you're not able to fix it. I
Should
mean, it is torn. It is
And
broken.
does my assistance with the manual, can we get
Yeah,
a
I'll give you
bonus
the
roll on
bonus
that?
Yeah.
die and see what happens. I mean,
Oh,
versus a
come on,
10.
do it, do it. Oh,
Oh, much
no.
closer, but still.
Yeah, you need a 0, right? Like that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I think you're gonna need a mechanic for this one. This is pretty dinged up.
I don't
I don't think a
suppose.
sheep did this.
No. I'm fairly certain it's that rock I rolled over. Um, I don't suppose you chaps would give me a ride into the village up here, would you?
Well, we're on a very important adventure to find sea monsters in ponds.
Indeed.
I mean, it's a pond monster.
Well, it's a sea
Let's.
monster that's relocated.
I mean,
I suppose after long enough, it is a pond monster.
it's nothing like your Roman ruins. This stays still.
Right. Yes.
He
Got
looks
it in one.
absolutely baffled.
Yeah, we can give you a ride. I think we have enough room. Do you have a lot of luggage with you? And hey, I have a question. Like your boss was like, "Oh, take my car," but he didn't give you money to stay in an inn. Why are you sleeping on the side of the road?
Oh, I didn't want to walk in the evening.
But I mean, last
there
I
are
talked to you last night.
still. I mean,
Anyway, it's not a big deal.
I locked myself in the car. There are still some wild animals out, and I
And
had
pond monsters.
and had yes. It was the pond monster I was fearing, but also um, wolves and bears. Um, and so, uh, I mean,
Oh my.
even a large badger would be terrifying in the middle of the night. Uh, I heard.
Well, that does sort of get back to Gid's question about why did you not just stay at the inn? You didn't make it very far. You didn't make up a lot of time if you stopped to sleep here.
I didn't stop to sleep here. I was rolling, trying to get to the town up there, and I hit a rock, and it
Well, you
stopped me.
said you pulled over to have a nap in the middle of the night.
Oh, is that what I said? Oh, yeah. Well, I think he was trying to get to the town, is what I meant. Is he was trying to get to the town. I didn't mean for him to be sleeping in the car again. Um, like
Um, well, we can take it. We can take you. We'll find you a mechanic,
I'm
someone
gonna.
who knows more than I do about cars.
I'm actually going to clip my Google map and put it in the Discord, so you guys can kind of see what the hell I'm talking about here. Uh, no way to necessarily get this easily into the stream, but So, if you open this up, Swinford is uh, like you guys are on what's the M1 now, but uh, and then you're on Rugby Road heading towards Swinford. He was gonna head in. The way I wanted this to go is he was headed to Swinford for the night. He had driven just a little further up the road and decided, oh, I am actually tired and I'm going to, a little worried about his tire. Then it's a gravel road and he threw up a large rock and it hit his radiator line. So he actually was several miles still west of Swinford and didn't want to walk it. Um, you guys are heading up to where this not giant, but this blue widening of the River Avon, and I can't believe that's a widening, but that's the way it's labeled, and I'm imagining actually it's probably a modern reservoir, but I'm going to keep it for the game. So, and South Kilworth is where I said you were heading to in order to get to this fun stop that you were going to go look for Nessie. Does that all make
Well,
sense?
Hey, I
an
very
offshoot
much
of Nessie.
apologize. I need to
Okay.
make a phone call. I'll be right
Oh,
back.
okay. Yep. We'll talk to you later. Hope all is well. Um, shall we move over to the train side of things? Do you think? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So you guys, Clyde and Daisy, get on a train. And what do you want to your first destination? If you guys look at a map or however you want to play it, you tell me. You get on a train directly for Derby? Do you?
Just,
Oh, maybe we
I
should.
don't know about you, Daisy, but I think we should be extra assholes and take at least 3 trains around the city
I
before
think
we get on the
so.
train to Arby.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then
Okay.
that way, when we get to the other trains going to the other part of the city, it's all the way across to the train station. So we have to go at the very last second to get to that train, to hop on that train and say, oops, sorry. Guess we made it just in time. Bye, let's go.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a wonderful plan. And at each station, I'm going to take three different types of coins and leave them just, like in a little pile in a place. Like, so 3 pennies, I don't know, 6 pence or
It's a
whatever. Like,
signal.
yeah. And every time we make a stop, I'm just going to leave those in the train station.
Okay.
Every corresponding pence retains a certain train station in the entire country of England. How
They're
will they know?
stacked. They're
They will
stacked, but
never know.
they're stacked differently each time.
One's a little square shape, one's a pyramid shape, one is just all 3 stacked at once. I like this.
This will be fun.
All right. So, uh, the mechanics in the book, and I'm coming into this room quickly. Hold on, I need my notebook.
Mind blown.
All right, I stayed out of camera, but I thought there might be some weird mic bleed there. Um,
I don't think I got it muted in time.
yeah, it's all right. I need a name here. Okay, so the rules in the book, the advice for keepers is to roll as seldomly as possible, and if any point you want something to be random, have the players roll. And so, uh, I am thinking I will have you guys roll either luck or spot hidden, and I can't figure out which one it is, but I think it's going to be spot hidden. Yeah, I'll have you guys roll a spot hidden check, but it's something that my character's doing, so, uh, okay. Daisy, you pick up that there is a man who is tailing you. And this one is actually a little more subtle than the last one.
They're
Um,
getting better.
uh, this one, actually, you see picking up one of your stacks of coins. Uh, First, looking at it, getting out a notebook, draws in the notebook, picks up the change, and then puts it in his pocket. And then you see this person make, like catch your eye,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and sort of does a hand wave at you.
Signal?
Yeah,
Like he wants to talk, or he's
yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
"Oh, oh goodness." All right. Um, I'm gonna kind of motion, to my friend Henry and be, "Oh, Henry, this gentleman seems to want to tell me something," just so I'm not walking off by myself.
All right. Now I can't remember if anybody actually directly met this person before, but
We'll find out.
this is
Yeah.
Finley Sevier.
I feel like I've heard that name.
Yeah, I do feel like I've heard that
That's
name.
your hired
You did meet him,
Clyde.
Clyde,
Yep.
because you
It's
learned.
it's my lockpicky guy. Oh
Oh,
shit!
I
Yeah.
haven't met him, but you have.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So you spent a week with him actually. So as soon as Daisy gets your attention, you recognize your safecracker has tailed you guys.
What the fuck?
He's really good. I mean, I almost didn't see him.
He starts walking over.
And as he walks over, he just sort of says, uh, "It's a lovely day to be uh, meeting you here." And he's like, "I hope you have enjoyed the convalescence of your mother." The visit to England, and that the convalescence of your mother is proceeding as you'd hoped.
Whose mother? Is he
Yours, he
talking
says to
mine?
yours. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
and
that would make sense, but
and
I didn't know.
and then he gives you a very subtle wink, and um,
Oh, yes, Mom's doing much better now. It, it takes some time, She's never been in the best of health. I'll just add to the conversation.
sometimes it's hard to understand when mothers give us signals. If those signals, they're not signals. When the mothers give us, information about their health, it's hard to tell sometimes if what's talking is them or the illness. And he pulls the coins out of his pocket and
Right.
puts them in his hand. Uh,
Oh, yes, the fever dreams. I know when she was telling me about them, they just seemed so chaotic and random.
well,
Absolutely.
it's lovely to see you again, and I just was wondering if you'd hoped I would still be meeting you next week. Uh, and then he sort of I'm having a hard time like how he would, but he's trying to find out if you still want him to look into the Penhew
Right.
Foundation.
And that
That's
was
right.
something
We hired him for
Clyde
that.
had, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll look and kind of say, well, what do you think, Henry? Is Mother dear doing all right, or do we need someone to check in on her?
I don't believe she's still in the best of health. We may be taking a leave for a short time to deal with other family matters up north, but
Or down
just
south? Might have.
or down
Oh,
south. But just to make sure she's still in good health, it's never bad to have someone check in on her from time to time.
Understood. Uh, and then just takes the newspaper and says, "Well, I hope good fortune follows you." And he points at two people. Uh, but perhaps good fortune can't always follow you. If or bad, I hope bad fortune misses you. And he points at
Mhm.
the
Mm-hmm.
because can't stay with you forever, particularly if you work hard to avoid it. And then just sort of turns around and walks away, and then puts the coins back where they were. Uh,
I really tried to give the message to him at least that the the
yeah.
coins were totally a
Mhm.
fever dream.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it that he thinks that's like now your new drop signal.
Wonderful.
It'll be 3 coins stacked in a row on a park bench. That now is the time to talk. Okay, so he leaves. You guys are you know you have two tails on you.
Okay. So I guess I'll just kind of note those particular individuals. We're
Okay.
going to still be playing our like
It's
train
it's
game across London.
2 men, um, and one is wearing the way we're going to differentiate them is one is wearing a brown houndstooth coat, and the other one is wearing sort of a black uh, raincoaty slicker type thing. Um, so we got brown coat and black coat. Uh, and they are not standing with each other at all. They were pointed out. Um, they in fact if you don't keep your eye on it, they're very slippery. Uh, so we'll play train game, but I am gonna call for a brief bio break, if y'all don't mind, and we
That
will pick
works.
it up from there. So I'm gonna put us on the mute. 1 second, please. Mute. Mute. Okay.
Mhm.
I switched this to starting soon and not live. That was confusing, but it's fine. We're here. Hi, everybody. And we are going to pick up where we left off. And we are in sort of the middle country, just outside of the Lake District. And Harmon and Purdy, I mean, and, to a certain degree, this group has sort of, along the lines of Scooby-Doo, generally, Scooby and Shaggy are Purdy and Clyde, and Velma, Daphne, and Fred are usually Harmon and Daisy. But they've mixed the party up for this one, so we've got a
And
very...
we're all Shaggy and Scoob today.
and we're all Shaggy and Scooby today. So,
Likes, man. I like being followed.
Cheeky's a clue. Uh, so, uh, so I am. It's fun to see the different dynamics with this pairing. The pairing changes. So we pick back up with Harmon and Purdy, who have stopped by to potentially assist with the roadside distress of our a friend whose name is now eluding me because I didn't have my notebook at the time it didn't write
Whitby.
down.
Silas
Whitby.
Whitby.
Silas Whitby. Uh, who has just had the longest run of automobile misfortune, although some of that misfortune was intentional vandalism by somebody who was being
By a sheep.
by a sheep, right? A sheep.
Ovine.
Both.
Ovine, right?
Right?
Yeah,
Ovine is
yeah,
the-
ovine is
Oh,
sheep.
okay.
Yep, yeah.
Yes, not a
Ovine.
cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
No. I think that's
He's not over. The bovine could still happen. But don't
well, we can hope. So, uh, he has asked if they would be willing to drive them into nice drive him into Swinford, which is a small village just maybe a couple miles northeast of where they're at. And the last thing I heard was, "Do you have a lot of luggage?" And he was about to say, "No, I've packed very light." And he has like a valise and a briefcase.
Get on in there.
The boot of his trunk. All right.
South Kilworth is not far off. Sort of a little beyond where we were heading to look for our pond monster.
Yes, please. You're seeking a pond monster. I've not heard of such a thing.
You
I
haven't?
mean, my aunt told me all sorts of stories about weird things that live in the ponds here in the United Kingdom. So I just figured, I don't know. I just got fired from my job, or really I quit, but I figured this might be, good way to spend my free spare time.
Well, and
And-
what could be more interesting?
Uh,
I mean, imagine if you found a pond monster.
I imagine
Took
I
a
would
picture
be
of it.
terrified.
Or irrefutable proof of its existence.
But yeah, I know you'd be famous.
Yes, I suppose that's true, but I would feel that there are, other endeavors that might yield similar results that are perhaps a...
Imagine if for the rest of history people referred to the Whitby Pond monster.
Oh, yes, that would
Or
be incredible, but also extremely
or
unlikely.
imagine if they referred to Whitby, the pond monster's first victim. I mean, either way, you'd be famous.
But that would be uncomfortable.
Yes, it is uncomfortable to consider. I I really do thank you for your ride. You're very kind, very, very kind to do so. Anywhere's fine. You can drop me off right here. That would be, I feel like I could
Still
walk it
out in
from
the
here.
country?
Well, yeah. I mean, moved me at least in the time that it took to have this conversation. I'm sure it
Haven't
moved me
even
at least
seen the
a.
pond yet.
No, I didn't want to go to the pond. I wanted to stop in Swindon. Not Swindon. Swindon,
Swinford?
Knacker type. Yeah, Swinford.
Well, but that's the
Hey, do
way
you
we
want
came
us to
from.
call your Do you want us to call your company when we get where we're staying tonight?
Oh no,
Tell
no,
them that
no, no, no.
you
You
might
don't.
be delayed,
No, you don't need to do that.
or maybe that
I
their car is broken.
well, no. I feel like I should take care of that when I reach Swinford. Uh,
Oh, we
uh,
were going the other way though. We're going up.
you guys were still actually west of Swinford when you found him. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. Swinford was just a little bit up the road, and then you would continue on to
Right.
South Kilworth.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, you're going to miss out on a great opportunity.
oh, well, if you say so. Um, Not certain of that myself, but I do wish you the best of luck for all of your kindnesses to me. Oh,
It
here,
certainly won't be called the Whitby Pond Monster if you're not there to see it.
I will
It,
have to
like
consider that a lost opportunity. I'm afraid.
I'll give I'll throw out one more opportunity for you. Like and I understand that you are a man who sets his mind to one thing and he's going to do that because I'm a little like that. But if your car is giving you this much trouble, are you sure you don't want us to drop you off at the train station and you come back later for the car?
Oh, well, that is an idea. Um,
I mean, if you're just going to stop every 20 miles, stuck in the side of the road, that I don't know how you're going to accomplish anything.
well, that does seem like a good idea. Hmm.
The rumble of the train is certain to keep pond monsters away. I hear they're terrified of it.
Um. Oh, very, very well. The train station, I guess, wouldn't be though in Swifford. It'd have to go back, I
We'll
think.
we'll be yeah we'll backtrack. I mean, it's the least we can do.
Oh,
As long as you don't try to go hunt pond
so,
monsters,
so very
steal
kind.
all glory for us.
No. I have no interest in stealing your pond monster glory. Uh, uh, Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get this London map onto the map, so I don't have to keep going into Discord for it. All right.
Hey, I feel like pond monster doesn't really roll off the tongue. Should we call it a marsh monster?
That's all right with me. I think it depends on where we find it. If it's in open water, it's more of a pond.
Like a lake? I don't know.
All right. So you guys drive back, and he is now just like looking nervous about who he's gotten into a vehicle with. Like all of the 1970s don't get into cars with stranger things that are appearing in his head 50 years earlier. Um,
His body's at the bottom of a pond because the pond monster got him, right?
uh,
Do you need me to make a drive check? I'm good at those in these
Not
circumstances.
until he's in front of the car.
nope,
And
you
not
don't.
until he gets out.
You don't need to make a drive check yet. All right. I think there should be available to you a handout
Pond
of
predator.
Swifford to South Kilworth, so that while we're having you drive back and forth, and
Here it
Long
is.
Long Buckby was quite a bit south of there, so you guys are going to lose maybe an hour and a half on the back and forth, dropping him off at the train station. Uh,
Fine.
at South Buckby.
We
Yeah,
can have any place to
you
be.
guys are just killing time, and so you leave him there, and yeah, you drop him off at the train station, and you see him. You know, he thanks you warmly, grabs his valise and his briefcase, and walks to go buy a ticket. What do you guys do? Do you leave?
Hey, Professor, that guy was
Yes,
nice and all, but he would put a popsicle in his pocket.
I don't know what that means.
That's, you know, just something we say in the country for someone who is sort of smart in one way, but definitely not smart in others.
Oh,
Uh,
I understand. That makes sense. I myself would probably put a popsicle in my pocket.
all right. Yeah, you guys drive off.
We honked the horn a few times.
Okay. Ooga,
Wave.
ooga. It jumps out of his skin. Turns around. I'm sorry. Did you need anything else? I'm sorry.
No. We just want to make sure you got a good journey.
Oh, thank you. A good journey to you as well. Godspeed. And he goes back to and then you ooga, ooga again. He just jumps out and he waves at you. Okay, thank you very much. Uh, and if you're still there, he is now assiduously ignoring you.
Well, I
Um,
think it's kind of fun to. He seems so uncomfortable. We could just stay a bit.
I feel like dusk might be the best time for pond monsters, personally. Like, I mean,
Sure,
you have to imagine that pond monsters get sunburned, so they don't want to be out
I
midday.
trust your instincts on this one.
All right. And I assume we're driving roughly back in the same direction. So
Yeah.
maybe we want to check out his car
Okay.
on the way back.
All right. Uh, so the you get to where
We
the
could
old
stay as long as we could stay as long as the professor wants. I'm not saying that. I'm just
Oh no,
that was my intent.
I'm all for it.
Huh.
Harmon's thought right now is to fill time and make them think that we've become so boring that there's no
Right.
point in following us anymore.
Okay. So you guys go back and the car's there. What do you want to do with it?
I think so. I'll tell Harmon everything I know. That apparently this is his boss's car, and he would travel by train, but now he's traveling by car. He just learned to drive. And for all that, Purdy, it seemed weird to Purdy. But that I don't know. Maybe we can figure out who his boss is.
Well, I think it's a pretty safe bet it's Edward Gavigan, but sure,
Yeah,
let's take
and
a
I
look.
didn't. No. Yeah, we'll
Oh,
search through it, see if we see anything of
all right. Give me spot hidden
note.
checks.
I never opened my sheet after I.
Okay. So Harmon, as you guys are going through the car, I think we'll have say Purdy was checking the boot and going through that, and
And
Harmon
slashing another tire just in case he doubles.
Okay, so he takes the time to slash another tire.
Be honest,
Going through you don't find anything in the boot. You don't find anything on the tires. Interestingly, Harmon starts with like the glove box and doesn't find anything there, but um, does find that there's like a couple of like tea stains. Like he'd been drinking tea while in here and had spilled the tea. Uh, but underneath the passenger seat. There's a bit of sort of trash that has fallen under the seat, like fish and chips wrappers he'd been eating in the car, and it just the kind of thing you'd find in anybody who works out of their car a little bit has some trash in the front, and then you pull out a photograph of Clyde. Uh, and it looks like he's walking away from the Penhew Foundation in this sort of distant shot of Clyde walking away.
yes, well, that would solidify that in my mind of who he's working for.
You know, I don't know why Clyde is so uncomfortable about that big bald spot on the back of his head. Uh, I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of, but
It's
he
natural.
certainly, yeah, he certainly feels like he needs to wear, some sort of hat or a scarf to distract
From
from it
this
all the
angle of
time.
the photograph, it is a little blinding.
I mean, yeah, it's like that sun is shining directly in our face.
Okay.
Cannon.
Cannon. All
Yeah.
right. Uh,
Hey, he's got an appearance of 40. It probably makes sense.
all right. So, moving back to Clyde and Daisy, you guys are doing merry-go-round trips. So, I would like you guys to both make stealth checks. You know you have two tails, brown coat and black coat.
All right,
I've
Daisy,
got
here's the first
kind
idea I got. What we're
of.
going to do is we're going to hide it along with other sites of couples, and hopefully they're in a similar attire to us. So then when we veer off, we pass through a couple crowds of people. They follow that couple instead of us.
All right.
So all it goes is someone like this.
Ooh.
He'll just suavely just put the arm around the shoulder, walk next to a different couple who's wearing probably similar attire. Then once they go by a pole, they switch sides. Something like that.
Okay. We could keep that roll. All right. And then I need to investigators handouts. Where are my? Oh, right. Then I got to go into London. NPC.
Casey, you know, I never really did thank you about that patchwork you did in my chest. That was great work.
Well, thank you. I've unfortunately had more practice than I'd like to, at the war and everything, but I'm glad I could put my service to good use.
I believe we all have more practice in things that we'd rather not have done in our lives.
Yes.
All right. So with the hard success and the RP, the narrative there, you feel like you've lost, fairly certain you've lost one of them on this first boarding of the train. But you're on an L, not an L, a tube train, and so you don't know if they got onto one of the other cars or not. So then you switch cars and walk out, and uh, being hypervigilant as you are right now, you both look around to see if you see anything of brown coat or black coat walking through. Spot hidden check there.
Okay, I was gonna say it sounds like you're prompting a roll, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
All
this
right.
is one thing we can do.
You're fairly certain black coat is been lost, but just out of the corner you see, as you get off at the next station, 4 cars over, you see brown coat. You're not sure if brown coat sees you.
Hmm.
What do you guys want to do?
Oh goodness. Did you have any other ideas?
Well, the next one is kind of a little iffy. Depends on how long he likes to stay down here. But typically, I would like to go out of the tunnel and enter from the other side instead. So I assume we're underground.
Yeah, you do the up and over, come around on the other side of the platform so that you enter from the going the other direction.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically, it seems to work if there's less people watching. For more people, it's a lot more difficult, but since it's only just the one so far, we should be okay.
All right. Give me one more stealth check.
One of these days I'm gonna succeed in this. Oh yeah!
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Do you get to put an X in?
Yes, I do.
All right. All right. So he will do a spot hidden to see if he finds you guys. And not at those hard successes he doesn't. So, oh wait, no, he matches the success, hard success. Oh yeah, because of Daisy's hard success, you guys elude brown coat as well, and we're going to say that you have eluded the Penhew Foundation as to the best of your knowledge. and eventually get on the train heading north to Derby. But your merry-go-round of trains, blending into other um, uh, couples on the and doing the roundabout, coming back on the other side, you manage to lose all of your tails and head towards Derby. All right, picking up where we left off in the countryside. Uh, Roll a luck check. You guys get out to the Avon. If you roll a 1, you see something that is identifiable as weird.
Come on, guys. I really want you to find your pond monster.
Spot hidden. Is that what it is?
Yep, spot hidden, and if you roll a 1. Yep, okay.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
said
luck, yeah, luck, yeah. If you roll a 1.
Oh, look. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
Uh, you spend the day out there, and there's a couple of times where, trick of the light, Purdy gets very excited, look at that, and Norman's like,
Well, we're not likely to see it in the first pond we check.
that's a stick.
I mean, not with that attitude. Spoil sport.
There's a lot of ponds. We've got to check
Yeah.
others.
There's probably lots of pond monsters too.
It's likely migratory. It's probably going to be back here later.
No, pond monsters are non-migratory, of course. All right.
It slithers its way over from the river.
All right. You guys, if you want, you can check out several ponds on the way up, but you have lost your tail as well.
Monster spawning season is.
I mean, I don't know. It probably gets quite chilly down there in the winter, so they probably snuggle up then. But I don't really know. I mean, do you think a pond monster goes down to like Florida in the winter?
Probably not from here. That'd be a long way.
I mean, but they're like 4
Maybe
miles
they go down
long.
to the south of Spain or something.
Maybe. I don't know.
The pond monsters go to Ibiza.
Northern Africa?
Yeah, just hanging out.
Morocco?
Yeah, all of the sunny locations.
Yeah.
Can?
Yeah.
That's how action movies start. That's how Godzilla got us started.
I don't know, Armin. Like, sometimes you ask some really weird questions.
Yeah, well, I believe that.
I don't think about, how they, do their stuff. I just want to see.
I would think if we knew their spawning patterns, that'd be the most likely time to find multiples of them.
I mean, yeah, that works for most people.
Exactly, which is why I asked if you knew the spawning patterns of pond monsters.
Easy to find them. I will.
It's forbidden knowledge we can't know.
My aunt, she was a very God-fearing person, and I am pretty sure that even if she knew anything about the spawning of these creatures, she probably would have pasted it in her scrapbook. So we might be at a total loss here.
Well, guess we'll have to make do.
All right, I was willing to have the a 1, the critical extreme success.
Why don't we talk about something else for a while?
To actually be like a fun diversion where you guys actually see something that's photographable and start the South Kilworth.
Oh, we'd have everyone on our backs if we took that photo. Like that would be the opposite of what we actually want.
No, I know.
In this game. So.
Or I guess I mean, because it is called Cthulhu, I could actually have it be a Cthulhu mythos that you see out there.
Right.
Yeah. But that is not what happens. You guys spend a pleasant day and a half meandering up this roadway, seeing lovely things. There's a light English drizzle through most of it. Daisy and Clyde, actually having left a day later, still get there roughly around the same time because because you've taken such a meanderingly, you're spending like an hour and a half at each pond checking for pond monsters. But is, I mean, aside from the fact that it's kind of what you've grown to expect, that you're tailed, and even this nice man whose tires you slashed, uh, he was tracking you too, and you don't know if that photo may have slipped out of a
He
portfolio.
was?
Uh, uh, but you know that you're being followed heading north as you head into Derby. So, or at least you were followed. You may have given this person the slip. But you also sent him on a train to Derby, so you fully expect to see him there again. Uh, so, uh, I'm. Did you guys? We can retcon this out. Did you have a rendezvous point that you were hoping to meet each other at once you arrived
Wait,
at Derby?
Clyde was already up there, right?
Yep,
This
Clyde
is
had been
where we're
there
going.
for several days, so
Yeah.
he knows the area.
Clyde gets to pick the place name.
Oh boy.
Don't fuck this up, Clyde.
Huge responsibility coming up with the asinine name for wherever you're staying.
Let's say a place called Five
Hey,
Sawyers.
Five Sawyers. All right. Well, that would be five lumberjacks, really, if you think about it. Because a sawyer is a person who saws wood. Um, so, all right, you're at the Five Sawyers in Derby. And that's like in town, but you know that Henson Manufacturing is just south of town along, uh, what was it, the Henson, oh no, it's just west of town. Sorry. Does this map actually, let's see, did I make this a full map that you guys can look at? I did. So let me place you on the Henson map here. One thing I really like about Foundry is once you make a map available to the players, they can go to it whenever they want. Like, it's having to place you guys on these maps, it's sort of really, if I don't want
wait.
you,
Oh, I
if you don't want to go
see.
back and forth, yeah, don't, or don't make it available to them. Okay, so the train station, can you guys see here in the bottom left-hand side? Ping it. The train station's right here. I'm going to say you guys are in town center is where, excuse me, where the five centers are. The impossible sausage just came back up pretty hardcore.
They made it impossible, but at a cost.
How good is it the second time, Paul?
It's about 60% good.
That's better than 33% good.
Oh, you can have it, yeah. Uh, so, and then Henson Manufacturing, as you can clearly see here, labeled to the west. Um, so you do have the hired car, so you still have that. You can drive around while in Derby now. What do you guys want to do when you get to the Five Sawyers? Similar situation. Tavern's not in the inn, so to speak, but there is a, and we'll have anybody who wants to name the tavern can name the tavern. I won't put anybody on the spot. Or we can
Terrence
popcorn it.
Trent.
What?
Or
Terrence Trent.
Terrence Trent.
Terrence Trent.
Trent Darby. You should name
Terrence
it.
Trent
Then
coming
you
with
should
Darby.
name the bar the Wishing Well.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Proprietor Terrence Trent.
Terrence
Perfectly fine with
Terrence
that.
Terrence Trent, proprietor of the Wishing Well. He is really into himself. He thinks he's amazing. Uh, and he's wishing well. And the drink that you can get there is the Kiss and Tell. Um,
Notebook now, it's canon.
so another drink called the Monkey See Monkey Do. Um, I love that song, by the way. Sorry, it's like one of my favorite 80s, 90s songs. Such a great tune. All right. Uh, so, uh, Terrence Trent. Such a British sounding name to begin with. Like, uh, Terrence Trent. So we'll bring. I can't do a northern. I can't do the northern English. But
What brings you here?
everybody's gruff in my British world. And I only do that British accent. It's just gruff. That's all I got. But I no, I think they sound a little bit more like Scary Spice, right? From the north, it's like that Yorkie accent. But anyway, I can't do it. But what brings you here? I assumed
I
you went to the
mean,
bar. Actually, I should not have done that. You guys don't necessarily have to be in the wishing well. Drinking a kiss and tell or a monkey see monkey do. It's up to you.
I mean, we just heard that Darby was the best place. Are all of us together now?
Yes. Well,
Yeah, I don't
that's up
think
to you.
I'd be at the bar talking with people though. I mean,
Okay. That's up to you.
but
Oh, no.
you know,
So you're
you
at
guys are more social.
the Five Sawyers Inn. Is where you're staying, and then the wishing well is the bar, the tavern, just down the road. So up to you guys. I'm sorry, I started getting ahead of myself because I was excited about the name. So
Um, so wherever Purdy ends up, he's probably still super like into pond monsters to the point that Harlan is probably, I keep saying your name wrong. Harmon is probably regretting his decision to fuel the side of him.
And we've made our choices.
we've all made our choices. We've made our bed. Well, in Derby, there is a pond. It looks like it's a retention pond. Never mind. Uh, but there is Laco Park that appears to have a pond in it, and there's the River Derwent, that may or may not contain a pond monster. Um, but your immediate reason for being there, though, is to the southwest.
Well, conveniently, we do have a car.
What time of day would you say? Because I think Daisy's idea would be to not be seen a whole ton, so like staying at the inn, and not like socializing and being seen. But what time of day would it be when we all kind of convene here?
I'm gonna actually let that be your guys' decision. You guys tell me what you think between your train trips and pond monster hunting. When would you both arrive at Derby on that day? I will have no intervening. Like nothing else happens to you guys, so you guys can pick as a
I
group.
would say probably be late in the day, depending on considering we're doing a bunch of shenanigans to throw off tails. It would probably be late at night.
And you guys get no
Lit.
evidence of tails, but you're still certain because it's you guys.
We're
So.
always
It's us.
being watched.
There's always someone watching us.
I mean, whether they're living or dead, they're watching us.
Just like Rockwell,
Ooh.
you always feel like there's somebody watching you.
Hmm. By the way, nice hat. I really like it.
Oh, thanks. I picked it up in New York before we left.
It hides the bald spot.
I didn't say that. I just said it was a nice hat.
All right, Cannon.
I'm not even gonna.
I do like your hat, okay?
Okay, the last 6 years have been rough. Okay.
I mean, yeah, you should just stop scratching until it's bloody, and maybe you'll get some of it back, though. I mean, you
Well,
shouldn't worry so much.
I mean, sometimes when you don't get all your gas protective equipment on, it tends to burn your skin a little bit. So it's kind of hard to grow hair back.
Have you thought about getting your gas equipment on faster?
He
You know
bites
what you
his- he
need? You
bites
need a
his lip.
hobby. I have a good hobby, and it's pond looking.
It's pond
You go out
looking.
to ponds and you look.
Isn't that what fishing is? Is
No. With fishing is too complicated. This is just pond looking.
Oh, it's
You
not
have
complicated when
ponds
I fish,
and
if
you
I
look.
get nothing. I pretty much am
Yeah,
looking at the
but
pond.
there's
That's good.
nothing around you except your eyes and a pond.
You know, you're
My
actually
I'll
eyes
take you
selling.
out
and the
someday.
You're selling it really well. Actually, it sounds good to me.
It's I'll take you out someday. We'll go some pond looking.
I'll tell you what, if I can get a portable grill, I'll make you something really nice.
But look out for the Whitby pond monster.
There's a Whitby
Yeah.
pond monster?
There might be.
Might be this.
Yeah. And assuming we're not out in
Picture.
public, we'll tell them all about Whitby.
Okay. You guys are acknowledged.
I will. Yeah.
This is
I'll just make it seem like he had a lot of unfortunate automobile accidents.
I'm amazed that
That
the
had
sheep
nothing
can,
to do with me.
that a sheep can shear a tire like that.
I mean, I think we might want to write to the newspapers and ask like a mayor what he is doing about this problem.
About
Because
the violent, the
Yeah.
vandalous sheep.
I'm sorry, but in the Discord, you type in pond looking in images, and there is a disconcerting amount of photos. Just people looking at ponds. I thought this.
in fairness, pond looking came from one of my friends who's from Wisconsin, and her grandmother goes deer looking every night.
Deer looking.
And we get
Oh my gosh.
lots of how we're seeing like accounts, I guess just accounts every night of I saw 14 tonight. There's one of my colleagues here. So deer looking. So pond looking.
Hey Ed, you want to go deer looking? Deer looking?
Not licking, no.
Not licking
Yeah.
all.
I was.
You just took this to a weird
I
place.
meant deer looking, but I was waiting for it. No. But yes, in the Midwest, you know.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Well, no.
Makes me laugh so hard. All right, so
Oh, you betcha, yeah, but no.
no.
Boy. Well, I think we should tell them about our adventures as well. We still have Finley keeping an eye on the Penhew Foundation, and apparently we have some signals now. It's Mum is the Penhew Foundation, and if you leave a few coins stacked like this, Finley will think you want to talk to him. So, if you ever need to.
Oh, good to know.
And we're followed by many people. We lost the ones that we were aware of, but I'm pretty certain there's still people watching us. They might be spirits, but spirits
Oh.
can talk to the living, so it's harder to shake a spirit.
I get the
Right,
feeling
I've never shaken one.
I get the feeling that if that's the case, when Penhew decided how to divide all his teams, both corporeal and spiritual, he gave us the C team because our guy was not good at following us at all.
No, bumblingly obvious, which I guess suggests maybe there's another one that is following more carefully. Maybe he was a decoy.
Maybe he's a pond monster. Maybe
I
we
doubt
don't.
that because he was scared to death of the pond monster
I mean,
idea.
come on, half of their followers are ghosts. Why can't half of ours be pond monsters?
I'm not saying they can't be.
You can be anything
Far be
you
it-
want in this
far be
world.
it from me.
If you stay
Don't
away
try
from the
to
ponds,
discriminate.
they won't be able to follow you. Don't they have to stay in ponds?
Well,
No.
we don't know. We
See,
haven't
that's
found
what-
one to
That's
examine.
what the professor told me. What if they get out of the pond and just walk across to another pond?
An amphibious pond monster.
Oh no.
Oh, back in the
Like,
Midwest, we
yeah,
had mud
I'd
puppies.
never even-
Did you do that?
Oh, that's alarming.
Yeah. You could just be, out in the woods, and there goes a pond monster walking in front of you. Like, what are you supposed to do?
And since
wave
we've never
to it
seen
and say
one,
hi.
we wouldn't know. Maybe Whitby is a pond monster.
Would a platypus be a pond monster? They're some of the creepiest things I've ever seen. They're so weird.
I don't know. Probably not because they're a platypus.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like a beaver mixed with a duck. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Have
Sort of poison
It's-
spur as well.
Just an alternate Thanksgiving
Poison
meal.
spurs?
Yes, I think it has a poison
Have you-
spur. That would make it monstrous.
If there's anything that's a pond monster, it'd definitely be the platypus.
Is it a venomous spur?
It is.
Venomous. We're going to be pedantic, of course.
So, as you guys have this typical
Yep.
conversation,
only poisonous mammal, I think.
it might be.
Only
That
venomous
produces
mammal.
poison.
We have to watch our language around the professor here.
I'm a professor.
He will
You guys are
decimate us if we're not
frozen.
careful.
Oh,
So
We have to choose our words very carefully.
that's right. You should
About
choose
what
them
I'm talking
carefully.
about.
Or if we're wrong, he will strike us.
You should choose them carefully because they're words and they have meaning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do with the other than, debating venom versus poison, which it is technically.
There's no
different.
debate.
No.
No, I'm not debating it. I just used a word incorrectly and was corrected.
In either case, we have to figure out what's going on at that manufacturing facility. And Clyde's just going to give a basic rundown of pretty much what he has seen over the past week, saying that there's a barn house on the left where he's scoped out for the majority of his time, and all brickwork buildings to the side of it, and that he's never been inside the building, but he's seen a couple figures moving in and out, and weird lights are going on, and that they have a regular patrol, it seems. Corey, no, I'm sorry that my logistics were terrible.
Do you think, Clyde, do you think it's best to go in the evening, like right now when it's later at night, or
Well,
what would
typically the work I normally do takes place during the night, so
do you think we all should go? I haven't been very helpful at some of these.
oh, you've been great. What do you mean? The train station thing was fantastic.
Oh, but that's different. Trying to sneak into a building or climb into windows or
Well, there's always an opportunity for those of us less skilled in these endeavors to keep an eye out.
yes, I can keep an eye out. I'm very good at spotting things, even spirits sometimes.
Right.
Sorry, I was eating, so I was muted. The So you have I would say actually like Clyde's able to do a drawing very similar to what's there in the top center there, like with the Albany Road in front and the layout. And the old barn is where he was at, and you guys can come up with a plan for how you want to stake out the Henson manufacturing. I will say I had prepped 2 chase scenes for this, and you guys both did so well with what you actually chose to do. So like blowing out his tire stopped one chase scene, and then shaking all of your.
Oh.
I was gonna have another train.
He was terrible. Like, come on. You gave us the C team. Really?
Did I?
I don't know.
All I wish is I don't get thrown off another train, so that would be wonderful.
Yeah, there was gonna be another. It was gonna be on the underground, the tube, and but a very crowded. So like, can you even move? Can you run? So it was crowded, and they moved closer and closer to you, but you shook them. So, so yeah, you get the C team, but you also had really good rolls. So
Well, from what you said, Clyde, it's active all day, right?
All day and all night, I've seen people move.
So I think there's some
But-
benefit to going under cover of night just because it's dark and we're harder to see. But we're not going to
I
avoid
like-
people.
How much, like, so we found this photo. So the Penhue Foundation seems, or, whatever we call her now, Mama. Mama seems to think that they know who all of us are. But does that mean this place knows who we are. Because I can apply for a job there.
I think it's a fair bet that they know.
Or there's at least a chance they know, and they would tip your hand if you applied for a job
I
there.
mean, but what's the worst that could happen?
They kill you on the
Oh,
spot.
Wait, what?
You're walking into the building they own
Impossible.
and they operate, saying, "I'm
Well, they
going
don't
to
own
apply
it.
for a
It's someone
job."
else, right? Like,
I mean, that would be a pretty terrible thing to happen. If they did know you and spot you, and maybe they even played along and hired you, and then you disappear. Be
but I
from
mean, like,
ponds you love so much.
isn't it weird? Like, I mean, okay, let's start with the first thing. Like, I would be very honored to have, instead of a burial, my body digested by a pond monster. That's There's probably very few
I'll
people on
remember
Earth
that. If anything does
who can
happen,
say that.
unfortunately, yes,
Like,
yes.
Well, if there
uh,
are, we don't know about them because we haven't discovered it yet.
um, but you like, come on, you would know that. Like, you'd find a body in a bunch of pond poo, and you just know that something happened here that you just can't explain. Um, you guys have made me completely forget what my main point was.
Good. That was
So I'm
that
gonna think about
yes.
that for a few
No.
minutes.
When you find a
Um,
body in a pile of pond poo.
yeah, you just know that the
My
universe, is revealing a mystery to you.
it's my next kid's book.
Um,
No,
in fact,
no.
I do not remember what I was
You were
going
you were
for.
wanting to try to apply for a job there, and we were trying to say
Um,
it would be very dangerous. Don't do it. That was
yeah, I don't. I had something more than that, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, no big deal.
Okay. Well, what do you guys wish to do?
I think maybe we wait until dark and drive out.
Maybe we want to, like, I don't know, drop some people off early and then. I mean, can you draw us a map of what you basically remember about the property?
Didn't we? He already did. Did we have?
Yeah,
What do we
that's
have?
that's
Oh,
the
did
map
you?
that's
Sorry. All right.
here.
Yeah, sorry. So why don't instead of four of us going all at once, why don't we just a few of us go now, and then a few of us go later with the car. Um, because the people who stay behind might be able to see if those people follow you.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Well, and it makes sense, I think, for you, Clyde, to be in the first group because you know the lay of the land a bit better.
I'm fine with this.
Who would you want to accompany you?
Harmon, did you leave your penny loafers at home?
Well, no. I mean, I'm always where they're in the bag.
Well, I need your smart mind on this operation. I feel like you'd be pretty good to have a good second opinion with.
I can give it a try.
Maybe you can explain
Well,
some of the weird things I've seen.
if you need a rock hurled through a window, I'm your man.
Careful, Daisy might got you there.
I'm sure she
No, I
would.
throw knives. I
No,
don't
it
throw
was pure
rocks.
luck.
Can I ask a question about the map that you've presented?
Yeah.
Um, it wouldn't be weird that this is the case. I'm just curious. The dotted lines, are they, is there trains right up to Henson Manufacturing? Spooky. I asked a question. I should have asked.
Um, are you looking right here?
Yeah.
I think the red dash line is just. Man, I don't know.
I think you said they were offloading like metals and stuff from a train
That's
in my notes.
right. Let's
Let me see if I can
on
go
the
back to my notes.
outskirts.
Yeah, in the back to the train yard, which is a fenced off area, is what I have written down here.
Okay, yep, there is a train that runs. It's not a pet, it's aligned predominantly used for um, for industrial use, not for passenger use. Um, I'm just double checking. I know I said that, so I'm making sure. Okay. Yeah, no, there is a rail, that's a rail spur, I guess.
No,
Seems to me that that shouldn't be though. Like I'm not seeing. I mean, I might have said that, but that doesn't seem. And I'm not seeing
well,
anything else here that says there's a
what's
railway.
weird, it seems to be sitting on top of things that are clearly roads, right?
Yeah, and
Like
I was like,
trains can't make right turns.
that's what I was
Um,
gonna say. I don't think a train could turn on that one in the center there, and I think I might have said that in error looking at the map too quickly last time. I don't think there's a rail spur, and that
Yeah,
would be a
because what would those
really
black
long and stupid rail spur. Like, why wouldn't they just come off of the other one?
uh,
Um, so
but
So yeah, I think the red is actually. I'm sorry. I'll take back the train thing. We'll just say
no,
that
just curious.
they're lorries that we're dropping that off, and there's a
Right.
like a similar to the Penhue Foundation. They have a truck loading area,
Yeah.
staging
Okay.
area, and that'll replace what I described as the train area. DAW. Okay,
I guess would be those
Um,
black and white dotted things
those
are
are
the
trains.
trains,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then the
That's
white are the roads.
yeah, and
Or
clearly right here is a train yard. Um,
Oh yeah.
yep.
Good point. Yeah.
So Um, okay. So, um, what do you guys want to do? Do we want to call it here at noon and pick this up, or we can start whatever. I mean, we technically have a little bit more time if you want to keep playing, but otherwise we can pick it up with you guys heading out there, or what it is you want to do. I
Why don't
guess I'm
we
looking for the next step thing here.
why don't we stage? Right. Like what would be the so it sounds
Where we
like
pick up next time.
Harmon and Clyde are gonna go out first,
Okay.
and then we would go out second.
yeah, but we would be watching to see if they're being followed.
Right. Um, and then what is our plan is to see what is being made there? Is that
I think
Yeah,
we've got some.
Jackson's spirit told
Mhm.
Daisy repeatedly that they're making something here that's important.
And I think Clyde, you got some of that too, right? Before you destroyed my psychic.
destroyed herself.
Because you had spoken.
Anakin, you did that to yourself.
You've done
She
that
destroyed
yourself.
herself at your request.
So yeah, I think we've both heard Elias saying like rambling crazy talk about things being built.
hmm
So like I think that is one of the goals, looking to see what is actually being built here.
Got it. Okay.
Are there other goals, guys? Like is that
Um,
kind of the main
I
thing?
guess well, they're doing something nefarious there. We know that for
Hmm.
something, if it's concerning a dead ghost. And
I mean, I think if Purdy thought just as, because this is how Purdy thinks, um, if he thought something was really nefarious, he might also consider trying to find a way to destroy production. Like if there was some like, oh, let's set a fire there, or
Hmm.
let's
So
run
come
over all of the
prepared.
workers in turn.
Really
and
build
if
up really build up that auto skill.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
if Clyde's thinking that something is important enough to them that they're having to tail us and possibly cause harm to us, it's nothing good. And the last people who did that tried to throw my heart out of my chest, and they were zombies
Fat vampires.
and fat vampires, especially the fat vampires.
We also be looking for any conclusive evidence. I mean, we have very strong suspicions and know ourselves that there's this connection with Penhue, but is that something our group might be interested in actually acquiring, like the smoking gun
Smoking.
connection?
If we can find out what they have there, maybe get some proper evidence, we can bring it towards Inspector Barrington. Maybe he can do something about it.
I mean, we might also consider. I don't know how, but some of these tails that are following us, we might consider getting them in trouble somehow.
Mhm.
You can just. So it seems like we could implicate um, Speed Demon in something that might get him in trouble. Local authorities that make it easier to do our job, but I guess sort of what I'm saying is I know you scope the place, but I'm not sure that we need to do something the first night we go out there.
I'd
So
still like to have a look first before we
right,
even.
right, right. Well, that's why I'm saying like it might be good if Daisy and I only watch who follows you out there instead of actually going out there ourselves
And that's if
because
someone
we don't.
follows us. I mean, Harmon's pretty good at what he does.
Oh, really? I've been lucky a few times.
Pond monsters have not seen him either, so he's excellent
That's true. I have a
because
flawless
if
record
they
from
saw
hiding
him,
from pond monsters.
yeah.
Unless that's why we haven't seen one, because they've seen us coming.
No, I don't think that's it.
Based on absolutely no evidence. Yeah. Uh,
Well, it seems like we have a good foundation for our starting plan.
okay, so the plan is Daisy and Purdy are going to observe Clyde alone, walking to the Henson or driving to Henson Manufacturing. And
No,
how are you
Clyde and I
guys
are both
observing?
going.
Okay, Clyde,
Yeah,
Clyde and Harmon
I
are
think we
going.
might want an observation point
Mhm.
where we can see if someone's following them, whatever that is. I'm not sure if we would know that what that was, but right, like
So
basically what's his name was doing down in London for them. We want to try to do that
okay, so
for
you get so basically, if they're taking like, yeah, I mean, so you would be trying to give them enough distance to see if anybody's tailing them and following at a discreet. So they're
right.
going, and then you're following them. So do you need another car, or are they walking? Because they could walk to Henson
I would say,
Manufacturing. It'd be a hell of a walk, but it would.
I would say, drive us closer, and then we'll get out on foot.
What's your judgment on this?
Yeah,
I
but I
don't want
mean,
to be too
like a
obvious
lot
and
of it
have.
is I mean, you getting in a car, the two of you getting in the car, right? There'll be people perhaps watching that and then people reacting to the fact that you've just left. I don't
Mhm.
think we need
They're
to go
watching the
particularly
car.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like they know the car is our source of movement. So I think that's sort of one of
so
us
you guys
in
are
the
gonna
sense of,
watch maybe from the inn, like
right,
to see if they observe if anybody tails them as they drive off in the car.
right.
Okay. Do we want to pick up with that next time, or do we want to play that out yet today? Um,
We
I
do it
am
next time.
comfortable
Why not?
either way. Um, I think actually once we get started with that, it's things will probably it'll flow from there. So I think actually why don't we pick it up from there, and we'll just call
That
this
makes sense.
sort of a Goonie interstitial game, a little more lighthearted than the last one.
Well, hey, it was good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough.
66% good enough.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, you said it was a Goonie episode, so I went with the Goonies are good enough.
oh man, I didn't catch the reference. I didn't catch it. That's a good one. Yeah. So
It obviously wasn't. It failed.
no,
I had to explain
I know.
it.
That's not on you though. That's on the receiver knowing or not knowing the reference. If I were a better
It was a
Goonies
bit of a
fan.
reach.
Uh, all right. So pond monsters. That's actually a thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow. Didn't
Why
I?
is
Yes,
that
it's a
a why
thing
is that a thing?
because Purdy is based on solely historical fact.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
it's a thing.
It's
Uh,
a thing.
all right. Well, if you've been watching, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you watching us here on Roleplay Give. If you are so inclined, go ahead and give us a follow. We do play actually a number of games on this channel now. More to come, and we'll see you on the other side. But otherwise, we're going to call it a day. Cheers, everybody. And